Hi, Bob Massey here, and this is probably going to be a little longer than most of the videos that I put out, but I think it's a really important topic that I want to talk to you about. I've gotten a number of calls over the last month or so from investors who say that they have been talking to real estate agents, and the real estate agents have recently gone through short sale training, and the trainers have told them that flipping houses is illegal. And I just want to make sure that you clearly understand that that is not the case at all, that there is misrepresentation going on, and that the type of transaction that we talk about doing is absolutely legal, is absolutely clean and above board. Of course, you need to make sure that you totally disclose to all parties involved what's going on in the transaction. I've talked about that in many other videos. So here's what I'd like for you to think about when that agent says, hey, this is illegal, or a banker says this is illegal, because I've heard that too. What you need to ask them, first of all, is are they familiar with the concept of assigning a contract? And if you're not familiar with that, what that is I get a contract to buy a house, and I find someone to buy that contract from me, and I merely assign that contract directly to an end buyer. And I make a profit doing that when I assign the contract. That's very standard real estate procedure. It's done acceptable in virtually every state. All real estate contracts, unless they explicitly say that that contract cannot be assigned, are all assignable. So when they say that flipping is illegal, ask them if they've ever been involved in an assignment of a contract, if they know what that is, and if it was covered in their classes when they were getting their license. Invariably, yes, it has. In essence, that's all we're doing, except that the mortgage companies will not allow us to assign the contract when we get an agreement with them on the A to B transaction. So, in essence, that's all it is. Now, some really good news came out recently, and I want to talk to you about that as well, because it reinforces that clearly this is not an illegal process. There was a letter that came out and new instructions that came out from Wells Fargo in the last couple of weeks. And excuse me for reading this to you, but I want to get the exact wording down that came out from Wells Fargo. Quote, due to market conditions having a large volume of distressed properties, the existing policy of not allowing financing for flip properties has been revised. Legitimate property flipping transactions are now eligible to be financed by Wells Fargo Home Mortgage. So they have very specific rules in there, but what they are saying is they will finance home mortgages that don't have a large amount of seasoning to them. Okay, seasoning has been our issue all the way along. There's one of the very largest mortgage companies. They have 10 very specific rules that have to be followed, and you can find those if you go to blog.theagentmagnet.com. We have those all on my blog site, and you can read them very specifically, but it very clearly says that there is no issue with the type of flipping transaction that we are describing. So, number one, it's great news. Work with your real estate agents. Help them through the difficulty of them thinking that this is an illegal transaction. And number two, now you got a place to take your C buyers to get their deals financed. Wonderful news in all cases. All the details are at that blog site. Again, it's blog.theagentmagnet.com. Now, one other thing, I have just completed a book that I can make available to you. If you go to cashinfusionnow.com, you can get a free copy of my new book that is directed at helping you to find the right marketing methods to drive massive increase in your business in 2010. So go check that one out too. It's cashinfusionnow.com, and you can get a free copy of my book right there. So thank you very much for listening, and if you have more questions, send it to us at service@theagentmagnet.com. We'll be happy to answer you on the legalities and what's going on and how to make sure that you have the right disclosures in place so that you are fully taking advantage of the opportunities that are out there in this very quickly changing marketplace. Thanks very much. Talk to you again soon.